Hey there. We're going to do something a little differently today. Some of you have been coming to my website for well over 2 years, and I've been appreciating the views of reading all my written work. But for today, I wanted to try something a little bit differently. See, I saw 50 Shades Freed, and I've also seen the entire 50 Shades series in theaters. Don't worry, it's okay to shed a tear for me. But at the same time, I felt that this film just deserves one final push that just deserves to be a little bit special. So, for today, we're gonna do a video review. So, without further ado, here's the After Lobby's review of 50 Shades Freed. Now, for those of you just joining us, the 50 Shades series is the long romance drama of Anastasia Steele, played by Dakota Johnson, who is a mousy woman in her college day, at the end of her college days, that gets her entire life turned upside down when she meets and earns the affections of billionaire Christian Grey. But Christian Grey's affections come with a heavy price. See, all of his girlfriends have to basically enter into a BDSM contract with him. And the entire first movie is all about contract negotiations, rather than the risque BDSM that many of the book's fans really played the book up to be all about. Unfortunately for our erstwhile couple, Grey has multiple abusive stalking tendencies, and Anastasia doesn't really appreciate the whole BDSM thing very much. As a matter of fact, when they do the most basic level of it, namely slapping her on the ass 5 times with a belt, she calls the entire relationship off. And that's how the first film ends, where the second film begins mere 3 weeks later after their breakup, and they get back together with supposedly no BDSM or no contracts needed. However, that lasts for all of one date where they go right back to the BDSM sex, except that, hey, Anastasia's a little bit more into it. But the second film also diverges into bizarre soap opera subplots, namely dealing with Kim Basinger as the woman that molested Christian and turned his ass out into the BDSM culture, Christian Grey's ex-girlfriend who stalks Anna all around town and also has Batman abilities, and then you also have Anna's boss at a publishing company in which the guy's name is, first of all, Jack Hyde, and second of all, is a complete molester. But he gets his ass taken out of the picture, and he swears vengeance against this couple. Which brings us to today's film. See Christian and Anna tie the knot in an elaborate, rich wedding ceremony, and, well, that's the movie. That's them you're just seeing this couple enjoy their honeymoon, live out their rich lives, and occasionally Jack Hyde swings by to harass them. Alright, look. The acting across all 3 of these films are bad. Anastasia Steele's actress is boring and flat, which is pretty sad because I've seen Dakota Johnson act well in other comedies. Jamie Dornan looks and talks like a friggin' psychopath, and I've heard from other people that he does play a psychopath very well when he's intended to be. And unfortunately, he brings such a sensibility for such a repulsive character that the audience is supposed to like. It doesn't work. And every other supporting cast member basically pokes their head in and says, hey, these are my 1 or 2 lines. Oh, director wants me to offset. All right, bye-bye. And they're just useless because the entire film just wants to focus on Anna and Christian's bizarre sexual romps. And the sex is just boring. Hell, in this film, there are 2 and maybe and a half scenes of BDSM. There are a couple of other sex scenes, but to be honest, I mean, there's nothing in there that I would say, ooh, this deserves an R rating. Most of it's borderline PG-13, if I'm being honest. So you are dealing with a film that has no plot structure, its one main selling point regarding the sex is just lame and boring, and your characters suck. So what are you left with? And that's probably the most frustrating part about 50 Shades Freed. There's just nothing to the film that I can even get worked up about and enjoy from an even angry standpoint. Hell, I loved slamming 50 Shades Darker with its bizarro plots. and it's atrocious writing. But this film chooses to knock out two of the subplots via text message. Kim Basinger doesn't even freaking appear in this movie despite her appearance in the trailers, and the entire focus of the film is instead on Jack Hyde harassing this couple with hitherto unknown superpowers of arson, bombing, hacking, master of disguise, and blackmailing, and it's all for naught. And the most frustrating part about this entire series from minute one is Christian Grey. Good chocolate-coated God. This guy is an absolute monster. He's an abuser. He's a stalker. He is an absolute wretch of a character that the movie wants you to like. And the worst part about it is that he is unlikable, and he doesn't even change. From the first film and to now, we have dealt with over 5 hours with this dude, and not once has he evolved. And ultimately, that's why I have to just hate this film. I resent it. Fuck this movie. This is a 0 out of 5 stars. Don't waste your time. Don't even check this out on a rental. So, thank you very much for watching the review. My name is Christopher Jaramillo, and I'll see you at the lobby.